Yeah, hello. So this video is regarding surface hardening. I told you in the previous video, that is when I discussed regarding the types of heat treatment. I told you surface hardening heat treatment is bit different than this previous heat treatment process. Why? Because if you remember the previous heat treatment process, the intention was the complete transformation of the steel specimen to another phase. Okay, almost all the heat treatment process we've studied, it was like the specimen will be first taken to austenitic phase and then complete transformation to either bainite or martensite or further enhancement of the properties. But whatever the heat treatment was done, it was for the entire surface. It was, I mean, entire component, both the surface as well as the interior. But this surface hardening is a bit different. Why? Because the name itself suggests surface hardening. That means whatever the heat treatment conditions we are going to carry out, it's on the surface only. In that process of carrying out the treatment on the surface, meanwhile, the core, that is the region inside the surface, inside, that is the interior of the specimen, it would become tougher. Okay, so surface hardening means, and again the name itself suggests hardening, so you're imparting the hardness on the surface only, whereas interior or the core becomes very tough. Okay, hope you know the difference between hardness and toughness. So surface hardening or surface treatment is a process which includes variety of techniques to obtain hard surface along with tough interior. Okay, also this surface on the specimen, the surface is also called as case. Okay, that's why surface hardening is also called as case hardening. Alright, now we know what is the surface hardening, but there are various methods of doing this. Okay, so what are those technical methods, engineering methods for surface hardening, the way to impart hardness on the surface? What are the methods? Means basically there are two methods, and in that second method there are again two sub methods. Okay, so the first general method is layer addition. You have a specimen and you keep on adding on the layers so that it becomes hard. Okay, it could be hard facing, that is by these two process, or coatings. I think you might have heard about coatings. I think it should be in first year chemistry or in a second PUC, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so you have this coatings: chemical vapor deposition, physical vapor deposition, ion mixing, electrochemical plating. The coatings basically are just adding on the surface, layer additions. Second method is substrate treatment, where you are treating the surface. Substrate means the surface and little bit region below it. So that is again divided in two forms. One is diffusion method, another is selective hardening method. Now diffusion method means you are altering. Diffusion means what? Movement of atoms or molecules. So what happens in diffusion method? You are slightly modifying the chemical composition of the surface only by diffusing the interstitial elements, foreign elements, okay, to the surface, and thereby you are hardening the surface. So what are those interstitials or the foreign elements? Means carburizing, that means carbon. Nitriding means nitrogen. Nitrocarburizing means nitrogen and carbon. Carbonitriding means carbon and nitrogen. Titanium carbon diffusion, titan and carbon. That means you are introducing the interstitial elements, foreign elements to the surface. You basically changing the composition of the chemical composition of the surface. Okay, this is one method. Another method is selective hardening. Now in diffusion method, it is the entire surface. Okay, selective hardening, name itself suggests you're not converting the entire surface, only particular point, localized hardening. Okay, again under that you have flame hardening, induction hardening, laser hardening, electron beam, ion implantation, selective carburizing and nitriding. Okay, in your syllabus you have just two methods under both these sub methods, and you don't have layer additions completely. Okay, so under surface hardening altogether you just have four types, two from diffusion methods and two from selective hardening. Okay, hope I'm clear with you. In the next video we will be starting with carburizing and further. Okay, thank you.